Part 2.
So, part two of the principles for marriage, but focus is on what the scriptures say about marriage, divorce, and remarriage. Last week we ended with Ezra chapters 9 and 10, where we see a mass divorce on, let's say, a national scale, which was commanded. It was commanded to comply with Yahweh's law. Remember that we have been going through 1 Corinthians 7, and because this is a chapter in the New Testament which is, let's say, telling us in most detail about marriage, divorce, and remarriage. Actually, in all of Scripture, it's an entire chapter devoted to this topic. And from 1 Corinthians 7, we have been jumping back and forth to the Old Testament and other passages in the New Testament to support or to better understand what Paul is talking about. Remember also, the whole chapter is actually an answer to a question from the Corinthian congregation, and that question was, is it good for a man not to touch a woman? So this whole chapter is, in essence, an answer to that question. Is it good for a man not to touch a woman? Now we will continue in Mark the 10th chapter. Verses 1 to 12. Who will read Mark 10 verses 1 to 12?
And rising up from there, he came into the border of the Judah, by the other side of the Jordan, and crowds gathered to him again. And as he usually did, he was teaching them again. And Pharisees and marriage to another commit adultery against her. And if a woman puts away her husband and marries another, she commits adultery.
So this is very clear. No divorce. That's what Joshua is saying here. A man cannot put away his wife, and a woman cannot put away her husband. In this passage, Joshua doesn't mention any exceptions, but he mentions an exception in several other passages. We discover once again a very important principle for discovering biblical truth. In order to find the truth about a topic, we must put together all relevant passages.
But if
So it's not because the exception is not mentioned here, but elsewhere, that suddenly the exception will be invalid, of course. All of Scripture is true and must be put together in a harmonized way. And that's what we are doing today.
But if the believer if this only apply in the believers, but if the unbeliever wife or husband does not believe in what, this can be a divorce or separation, or what can you say about them? If there's a problem, conflict, and you said that no.
We already mentioned before, I think last week, that Joshua is actually talking to believers and to Torah believers. But you will hear the answer to your question as the message continues. Let's go to Matthew 19 verses 3 to 9. Matthew chapter 19, 3 to 9.
Sige, I will read.
And the Pharisees came to him, trying him and saying to him, Is it right for a man to put away his wife for every reason? And he answering said to them, did you not read what he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So that they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let man not separate. They said to him, why then did Moses command to give a certificate of divorce and to put her away? He said to them, because of the hardness of your hearts, Moses allowed you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. And I say to you, whoever puts away his wife except on the ground of warring and marries another commits adultery, and whoever marries her to his being put away commits adultery.
So here we have the exception, but first notice Yahshua is talking about those who are joined together by Elohim.